Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I have just got out of the shower, which is why my hair's a little bit of a mess, but I'm kind of liking it. It's like a rocky, I just woke up like this type of thing. So, without further ado, and messing around by yours truly, these are the stars of today's video and we're going to talk about them. And just before we get into the makeup itself, I want to just address a little bit of the drama. If you've been following the drama on Twitter, I know I'm a little bit behind with this, but I just could not let it go. This palette was said to have copied the Blueblood palette. Now, if you haven't seen it, this is what it looks like. So it's obviously very different from what Tarte has done before. They usually do your warm tones, your nudes, and your bronzy colours, and then they released this. And they announced it to be released more or less exactly around the same time as the Blueblood palette. Now, if you've not seen this yet, what rock have you been sleeping under? But this is it. This is the Jeffreestar Blueblood palette, and I have obviously been dipping into this one. I have not touched the Icybetch palette just yet. The allegations were that they copied Jeffreestar. Now, first of all, I don't see any similarity there. In this palette, you have 10 shades altogether. So it's 9 eyeshadows and then a highlighter shade. 0.032 ounces per eyeshadow in this, and the highlighter is 0.177. Jeffreestar's Blueblood, which has got 0.05 ounces. Obviously there's a lot more product in this. Obviously that reflects in the price as well. This was £48, which is $52, and this was £21, which is about $27. So obviously the Blueblood palette is more than double as expensive. What I just wanted to address is I don't make makeup. I don't fully understand the process and how long it takes. I just know it takes a very long time. Greetings from the future. I was not explaining this very well, so I'm going to just do it like this. There's no chance that from the time Tarte found out about the Blueblood palette that they could have had the time to manufacture a palette, copy them, design it and release it in that time frame, if that makes sense. They just would not have the time to do that. What I reckon has happened is, if you don't know, last year on April Fool's Day, so the 1st of April, they released a picture of this palette, only it wasn't quite this palette, but very, very similar, saying that they were going to release this blue palette. Obviously that was April Fool's, and they revealed this picture of another brown and bronzy palette, but people were not having it. They were outraged because they wanted this palette. They wanted the blues and something different from Tarte. So what I reckon is they had already planned to release this just before April Fool's Day, so a year after, and actually be like, guys, we heard you, we've made it. Not at all to copy Jeffreestar. That's just my opinion. I don't think that that was their intention at all. Did they ride the Blueblood wave? Probably. So let's get into testing these. So what I'm going to do today is attempt to dupe my eyes. So I will create more or less the same look. Obviously it's not going to be quite the same because the shades aren't exactly the same, but I'll choose the closest shades in each palette and do one on each eye, and then let you know what I think about the formula, about how pigmented they are and how well they are performing. Just my impressions of this. This is a really nice box. It's sturdy, it's got some weight to it. The only thing I'm a bit like, this is a sticker. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that I like to pick at things, I like to destroy. So the fact that this could potentially come off with just a rip is bugging the hell out of me. Obviously, he's gone for the coffin look. It's a beautiful baby blue, and it's got 18 shades in here of blues and greens and your transition shades. It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. The formula are all really, really good. The only colour, or the only shade that I've had a little bit of issue with is the Ocean Ice, which is this one. You just need to work on it a little bit longer than the other shades, because it's almost like, it's a bit gritty, and it does create a bit of fallout on your face, but it is gorgeous. I mean, the colour is absolutely beautiful. Look how that just coated my finger. That was one little dip in the pan, and it's amazing. Like, it's amazing. But you have to. I would apply it with a finger, to be absolutely honest with you. I tried it with a brush, and it went all over. So that's the only shade in this that I have had a little bit of an issue with. All the others are amazing. It's not even a proper issue, really, is it? You just need to take your time and work with it. let's get into the eyeshadow. I've already done my face. I've done my face. What I also have noticed in the Icy Betch palette, these two, I mean, there's a different, there is a difference. There's more shimmer going on up here, which is actually, you've got the shade names on the back. So that one's called Blair, and then Aria. Yeah, Blair and Aria. Very similar. I don't know why they have chosen to do two shades that are that similar, because it's not like it's a matte and a shimmer. They're both shimmers. This is just less of a shimmer than that one. So confused. That could have been a different one, but hey ho. So what I will do is try to create the same look on each side using these palettes. Like I said, it's not going to be the same because the shades aren't the same, but that's exciting. Let's try. So I'm going to start with my transition shade. I've already Tarte Shape Taped my eyes. So I'm going to do Tarte on my right eye and Jeffree on my left. So I'm going to use this shade right here called Heather, right out there, as my transition shade on the right eye. Tiny bit of pickup in the pan, nothing crazy. I feel like I say that a lot. That's like my go-to. There's pickup, but I'm not worried about it, because it's very, very sheer. Okay, so that's the transition shade on you. I mean, you can see it. It is quite nice. It's a little bit grey. I mean, it went on really nicely. I mean, I like the formula so far. Right, so let's clean my brush and use the same brush. And then from the Jeffreestar Blueblood, I'm going to use I Am Cold, which is this one up here. Obviously, it's a little bit more blue, but it's the closest one. So obviously, I said I've already played with these, so I know how these are going to perform. So right off the bat, obviously there's more pigment. That isn't necessarily a bad thing that the shade hasn't got that much pigment. That's just what you prefer. If you want a more subtle transition shade, which is obviously quite nice because you can get a more gradual blend. Obviously it doesn't matter if the transition shades aren't the most pigmented. I like it when it pops. Okay, so obviously we've got a definite difference there. I like both. Okay, so let's rock something in our crease. What do we want to do? Right, I'm going to go in with the Georgina color, which is this turquoise, greeny, seaweedy. It's a really beautiful color. I don't even know what I would call that. We like. It's called Georgina. It's this one. Get a lot of product on your brush, so don't go crazy. Like I'm usually like on my eyes. I just ruined it before I even started. Right, so I'm gonna rock it in the crease, swipe it upwards. It is blending really nicely and it's buildable. So if you want, you can have both a subtle and a pop of color with this one. You just need to build. Oh, pretty. And then it's flourishing in the Jeffreestar palette. Again, a bit of a deeper color. Do you know what? Even though it's darker in the pan in the Blueblood palette, they are coming off more or less identical. A little bit brighter, the Jeffreestar one. I hope you notice, if you've watched all my videos, how I've gotten better at not covering up my face. Okay, I think I'll leave that for a second, and now change the brush. I want to pack something. I want to pack something on. This is gonna be completely different, but I really want to try the Becky shade, which is this one in the middle, which is the very turquoise color there, because that is just screaming at me. You know, when you open a palette for the first time, there's always that one color, or maybe two, but it's usually that one color that just speaks to you immediately, and that for me was that one. Okay, so I'm going to use a packer brush. Didn't tell you what the first one, it's my go-to Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush. That was the first one I used. Again, a lot of product is picked up on the brush. A little bit powdery, more so than the Jeffreestar palette, but I'm still not mad at that. Didn't tell you though, I haven't touched it before, but I've smelt it. It smells like vanilla, and I don't, oh, it's not on here, it's probably on the box, but proper smells like vanilla, like. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this in the middle of my eye and take it out. I'm not gonna go all the way to the inner corner because I want to put a little blending moment in there. Oh, I really like this color. Again, it blends really, really nicely. I didn't mean to sound like I expected this to be bad. I think it's because I've already played with the Jeffreestar palette so much that I'm already in love with it. I was completely unbiased. I've never actually tried a Tarte eyeshadow palette before, so this is my first impression of a Tarte eyeshadow palette. And it's blending beautifully. That is just like an ombre transition. So the dupe, not dupe from the Jeffreestar palette, I mean, I feel like I have two choices. I can either do Blueblood, which is this one here, or Blue Monday, which is that one there. So obviously that's going to be way darker than the one I just used, and this is going to be lighter. So I think I'm going to do Blueblood. A little bit powdery, this one as well. Yeah, it was definitely the right choice. Obviously it's not the same, but we never meant for it to be. Also blend so beautifully. Doesn't smell like anything. There's no vanilla in here. Next time, Jeffree. I know you like your sweets. That's really cute as well, obviously that. Right, I'm just going to tidy up a little bit. So, right, do not get these confused because that'll mess everything up. Okay, so I want to do a shimmer as well. I have to use the green, called Miranda. This one. I'm going to use my JS6. Now this is clean, it's just stained because I've been dipping it into my Riviera palette that has got the pressed pigment Bahamas, which is really bright pink, and that girl is not coming out. Try dry first, always try the dry first, just to see what happens. Don't know why, I mean 9 times out of 10 I have to go back in with a wet brush, but I just want to see. Just want to see what happens. Let's spray a little bit, let's just use NYX. Ooh, there we go, foil. Pop pop. And then the similar colour in the Blueblood palette is called Entitled, which is this right here. More of a turquoise, Entitled, and Miranda is a little bit more of a grassy green. Wetting the brush again. Okay, so I think they're both really pretty. They're obviously very different. Right, I want to have something darker in the outer V corner of the eye. Right, there's actually two colours that are very similar. So it's this one down here, which is called Vivian. And then it's the colour from the Blueblood palette called Cremated. This is just an Anastasia brush that came with the palette. Ooh, fallout galore. Can you see it? That was all over the shop. Was that the brush's fault? Let's try a different brush. I just want to see if that was actually the brush's fault. Right, ladies and gentlemen. When you review a palette, you might need to blame the brush, because I just tried this with the Anastasia brush that comes with the palette, and then with my Real Techniques brush. With a Real Techniques brush, there was absolutely no fallout, but there were loads with this brush. So before you go and say, oh, this particular eyeshadow is shit, it might be your brush. Try it with 2 brushes. I always like to do 2, if it doesn't work the first time. Maybe it's me, maybe it's my tools. This had so much fallout on my face, so no. I mean, that's really beautiful. I love that. The colour I will continue to use. So like I said, it's Cremated in the Blueblood palette. Tiny bit of fallout. Some, obviously, you probably will notice, sometimes when you get fallout on your cheek, you can just grab a brush and just swipe it and it's gone. Other times you swipe it and it leaves like streaks on your face. The Cremated colour in the Jeffreestar palette did have a little bit of fallout on my face. However, 1 brush stroke and it was gone. Right, so I'm going to take a clean brush now. I'm going to use my JS5 and just buff out the edges. Boom! So underneath my eyes. Oh, there's another 2 colours that are really, really similar that I want to use for the underneath of my eyes. It is Cheryl, which is down here, next to Ice Tray, which is up here. mean, they're more or less identical. Ice Tray is just a tiny bit brighter. If I walked out with just that, you wouldn't be able to tell. Right, so because there is a massive highlighter in here, obviously I'm going to use that in my inner corner as well as a little bit of a highlight. Try and dry again, because we always do that. Why not? Right, it's definitely there. Oh, that definitely smells like vanilla. But we want a bit more of a bang. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh. Right, just first I'm using the JS4 highlighter brush. The highlighter comes off as a peachy pink. Can you see that? So it's like white. You can kind of see the like iridescence in the pan, but on my face, ooh, it's literally pinky peach. Not mad at that, that's just not what I expected. So we're going to do the same with the Cullinan colour. Now, just saying, this one has a pow even without wetting the brush. So really gently, because a lot of product comes out of this. If you want to use it as a highlighter, it's beautiful, but it picks up a lot, so careful. Yeah, look at that, that was hardly anything, boom! So you get exactly what you expect with this one. It's an icy white, very beautiful highlight. It's like, ka-chicka! Ka-chow! I mean, cute and peachy. Boom! I'm quite happy with that. I think the only thing that properly gives it away is the shimmer that I put in the middle. So the green from the Tarte Icy Betch called Miranda, and then the Entitled from the Blueblood palette. So I'm just going to tidy up a little bit, put on some mascara. I'm not going to do lashes and eyeliner because I think it takes away from the eyeshadow a little bit. I don't think I need it. Don't think I need it. What's the hair doing? Ooh, I mean, it's an absolute mess, but I don't mind it. Ooh, it's pretty. This lipstick smells so good. It's the L'Oreal Paris Colorish Matte 103, if you're interested. But this formula smells like roses. I know some people are a bit sensitive to like smell and fragrance and stuff, but I love it. Okay, so that is the final look. Obviously, they're different. You can't really dupe them. That's just not possible. I love both of them. Which one do I prefer? I think the Jeffreestar side is obviously a more cohesive side. You can see the colours all complement each other really, really well. I think the colours complement each other on the Tarte side as well. But if I was doing both my eyes, I wouldn't have chosen the colour combination that I've chosen here. I would probably have done the green shimmer with the green matte together in a different way. So obviously, I think I prefer the Jeffreestar side to the Tarte side, but that's just because of the colour choices that we had to do today to try and create the same as we've done on both sides. But I really love both of them. I really like both of them. So, do I recommend this palette? Yes, I do. Do I recommend this palette? Abso-bloody-lutely. I wasn't using blue at all before this palette came out. Blue has always been something that I've been told is too loud, it's too much, you look trashy. But with the right blends, and there's so many tutorials out on YouTube at the moment with this palette. I'll put my 5 in 5 on the screen at the end of the video, which is going to be very soon, don't worry. I have at least one look in there that is a very day-to-day wearable look. I went a bit crazy with the colours otherwise. If I had to choose a palette, I would buy this one. But I think this is half the price. If you just want a couple of blues, some greens, I think this is also a perfect palette to buy. If you don't have £48 or $52 to spend on the Blueblood palette, you might have £21 or $27 to spend on this. So that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And I think this looks bomb. That highlight though. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, share this with all your friends. I would love it if you would help my channel grow. It's a brand new channel. I've got so many ideas, so many cool videos coming up. Please let me know down below which one you preferred. Are you going to buy these? Have you got these? Let me know. And if you have any suggestions for videos for me, please put them down below and I will definitely do my best to make them happen. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye.